Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. I know it's a bit late. I know that, but yeah, the match was going on between West Indies and India. So basically, well, I had to go to office, so I couldn't really do it. But I'm here back, but probably not with a real match report, I could say. It could be a match summary. Well, let me not waste any further time and start off this Cricket Happening Show. Well, India definitely today won the match, but let me tell you, it was not convincing because India were really stretched to the limit by the West Indies bowlers. First, the Indian bowlers did a good job on a very pacey and a very bouncy whack-up pitch in Perth, where the first Indian bowlers did a good job of actually bowling out West Indies for 182. And probably, yes, there was definitely something in it for the bowlers to be interested in, no doubt about it. But also it required them to show a lot of application in bowling in the right areas. And I thought the Indian bowlers did a wonderful job. But for India, well, probably they would have thought that they could easily wipe off that target, but that was not to be, because India started losing wickets. And India, I thought, for the first time in this World Cup, they were really tested here, because what happened was really the pressure piled up on India when India were at a score of 134 for 6. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain, as is usual, and also with his cool and calm composure that he has, he had Ravichandran Ashwin to give him company, and saw to it that he piloted India to victory. And finally that happened, with India winning by 4 wickets. But again, as I said, it was not a very convincing victory by India, considering the circumstances. Yes, there was definitely something in it for the bowlers, but probably India, I think losing 6 wickets was something that India would have not wanted. Well, the bottom line is that India won the match, so India are absolutely on the top as far as Pool B is concerned, not only in terms of the runs, also in terms of the run rate. Another thing that India has done is this is the longest run of victories in the World Cup that India has had. Previously, back in 2003, India had 8 victories, and here now India are already having 8 victories after beating West Indies. And now, if they are going to win one more match, that would be the last match in the preliminary fixture before they head off to the quarterfinals against Zimbabwe. Well, that would be something, a big occasion for India, because that would be 9 victories for India on the trot. Well, dear fans, subscribers, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about this match. So this match all started, as I said, on a very fiery whacker, as is always known as a very pacey and a very bouncy cricket pitch. West Indies were the ones who won the toss, and they decided to bat first. Well, as far they started to bat first, the Indian bowlers were bowling in the right areas, especially Mohammad Shami and also Umesh Yadav, were doing a pretty good job of really keeping the runs to a minimum. And also what one saw was that probably one had a feeling that Chris Gayle, who probably one would have thought that, we know that Chris Gayle nowadays takes a bit of a time first to settle down, then start the bashing. But today what one saw was something different. One does not know whether there was an injury for Chris Gayle, because whether he played with an injury, because he kept denying the singles at the non-striker, in the sense where there was a clear single, he was denying that when he was with Dwayne Smith. And then we saw that he was also denying the single when Marlon Samuels was at the crease. And suddenly it looked like West Indies were really they were not really, there was not really any purpose or commitment, and was once wondering whether it was with the pitch. But I mean, as you know, singles are something which you always have to take and put the pressure on the opposition, but that was not to be. So that was a very surprising factor. And we saw that in all those pressure that was going on because of runs not coming in and the singles not being taken, Dwayne Smith was an early victim, as he was caught by Mahendra Singh Dhoni of the bowling of Mohammad Shami for 6. After that, Marlon Samuels came to the crease, and Marlon Samuels also struggled, but again there was a serious misunderstanding between Chris Gayle and Samuels was pretty pretty miffed at that, because there seemed to be a sort of lack of understanding. And as I said, one saw that one does not know whether Chris Gayle was playing with an injury, because one is that he was denying the singles, which was a real surprise, and over and above that, we also saw Gayle trying to, once Marlon Samuels was out. Now that was another serious misunderstanding that Chris Gayle and Samuels had, and both really had exchange of faces, one could call, but well, Marlon Samuels had to go. He was run out for 2 of 7 balls, and Marlon Samuels was absolutely miffed at that, and Gayle himself was giving a stare to Samuels, and that was not good to see. But well, that was the case, and the score was 15 for 2 in the 8th overs. So West Indies were really struggling. Jonathan Carter came in. Jonathan Carter came in to bat, and as Jonathan Carter came in, Chris Gayle was there, and Chris Gayle realized that now is the time to really go for the strokes. He definitely hit a 2, 4 and 1, 6, but what was seen, as I said, one always had a feeling that probably Gayle was playing with an injury. One does not know, because the way Gayle was playing, he was trying. We know that Gayle is such a player who likes to stay at the crease and bang the ball with his bat. But over here, there was a clear case, because one is he was denying the singles, and the other thing that was happening was he was staying at the crease and trying to whack the ball. He was in fact flirting at everything, one could say. And then Mohammad Shami picked him up as Gayle was trying one too many. He was caught Mohit Sharma bowled Shami for 21 of 27 balls with 2 4s and 1 6, and West Indies were 35 for 3. After that, there was absolutely no momentum, barring Jonathan Carter, who contributed 21 of 43 balls with 3 4s. There was no momentum in the innings. Dinesh Ramadhin, and suddenly there was a real, the wickets started falling in pretty cheaply. Ramadhin was bowled by Yadav for duck, and Lendl Simmons was sent back by Mohit Sharma for 9 of 22 balls, and the score read 67 for 5. And Carter, after playing a neat little knock of 21 of 43 balls with 3 4s, was a victim of the bowling of Ashwin, and then Darren Sammy came in, but Andre Russell was sent packing to the pavilion by Jadeja, out for 8, and then the score read 85 for 7 when Russell was at the crease. After that, the score had some sort of a, I would say, some sort of a push, with Sammy combining with Jason Holder, the West Indian captain, and both of them, what they did is they actually put up a 39-run stand to push the score to 124, gave it some sort of, I would say, respectability. But Darren Sammy was the next victim, as Mohammad Shami picked up his wicket for 26 of 55 balls with 2 4s. And then finally it was left to Jason Holder to really see to it that he takes West Indies to a real defendable target, and that's what precisely Jason Holder, as the captain of the West Indies team, did. As he made a very impressive 57 of 64 balls with 4 4s and 3 6s, and he was the last man out in the 45th over. Then West Indies were all out for 182. Taylor was not out. Cotton bowled Yadav for 11 of 18 balls with 1 4. Roche was not out on duck, and 182 all out. As I said, the Indian bowlers are doing a splendid job here of rolling out the West Indians for 182. Mohammad Shami today was the man of the match. 8 overs, 2 maidens, 35 runs and 3 wickets, bowled beautifully. Umesh Yadav packed up a lot of pace. 10 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 42. Ashwin 9 overs, 1 for 38. Mohit Sharma did his job pretty well. 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 35. And Jadeja 8.2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 27. So as far as the bowling was concerned, it was a very, very disciplined bowling performance from the Indian bowlers. I thought they really stuck to a good line, and we also saw that West Indies were attempting some injudicious strokes, and that was bringing their dismissals. It was sad to see, but I thought Indian bowlers did a good job by getting the West Indies out, all out for 182. India's turn came with Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan opening the innings. They were pretty watchful because there was not much risk to be taken with the score. They were only chasing 183 to win. But well, Rohit Sharma and Dhawan came in. Jerome Taylor was bowling superbly. Jason Holder at the other end was doing it. But then Shikhar Dhawan was a victim, as this is the time Jerome Taylor came in and plucked up the wicket of Shikhar Dhawan. What he did is he actually changed his line of attack. He decided to go round the wicket to Shikhar Dhawan. And what he did is he actually angled the ball and tried to angle the ball and and Dhawan actually poked at the delivery, and the wicket was, and the catch was snapped up by Sammy at slips, who took a catch, and Dhawan was gone for 9 or 14 balls with 1 4. India were 11 for 1, and Taylor then once again came back in his next over and dismissed Rohit Sharma. Now Rohit Sharma's stroke, probably attempting a forcing shot through the offside, going to drive, but probably couldn't get to the pitch of the ball. Dinesh Ramadhan behind the stumps took the catch, and Jerome Taylor had rocked India with 2 wickets, and India were really looking a bit ragged at 20 for 2 in the 7th over. Virat Kohli came in. He was playing with lots of confidence. He was not really thinking about the situation. He was driving well, he was pulling well, he was also flicking well, and Ajinkya Rahane joined him, and both definitely did a sort of a stabilizing job where they pushed the Indian score with a 43-run partnership to 63, and when things were suddenly turning to look bright, Kemar Roach, who was playing today, as you know, Kemar Roach was playing his first match in the World Cup, and what he did is he picked up the wicket. Now there was something or sort of a doubt about it, but again, as you know, now we have the third umpire adjudication coming in, and Ajinkya Rahane was ruled out. Probably one thought whether there was any one does not know whether there was any coat of varnish that happened between the bat and the ball. Whether the ball grazed the bat, one does not know. But Ajinkya Rahane had to go. Caught Ramadan bowled Roach for 14 of 34 balls with 2 fours, and he was gone. And then Virat Kohli trying to actually hook a bouncer. I mean, that was a good ploy on the part of the West Indian captain Jason Holder. What he did is he actually had 2 men for the hook shot, and Andre Russell was told to bounce the ball. He bounced the ball. Virat Kohli accepted the bait, hooked it, and Samuels took the catch, and that was a big wicket for West Indies. And Kohli was out after making 33 of 36 balls with 5 fours, and suddenly India was struggling at 78 for 4 in the 18th over. And then we had 2 new batsmen at the crease, with the Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni kept company by Suresh Raina. Suresh Raina, well, he played some 2 good strokes, one could say, a very good drive, very good, I would say, a push down the ground for 4. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was trying to just rotate the strike by getting some singles, keep the score going, I would say. And then we had Jason Holder tossing the ball over to Dwayne Smith's military medium pace, as he came up with his military medium pace and picked up the wicket. Now Raina was attempting a shot which he was trying to have a fierce, it was a ball which was shot outside the off stump. Yes, definitely it deserved the treatment, but probably Suresh Raina could have really waited, but he threw his bat at it. He wanted to attempt a very, very fierce cut, and that fierce cut, he couldn't really do that. The ball took the edge of the bat. Ramadan behind the stumps did not make any mistake, and he was gone. Caught Ramadan bowled Smith for 22 of 25 balls with 2 fours. India, half the Indian side was out for 107 in the 23rd over, and suddenly there was some alarm bells ringing as Jadeja walked in to join Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain. Dhoni, well, as calm as ever. He was not in any. He was unruffled. As you know, he's normally unruffled by such circumstances. And as far as chips are down, one can always trust Dhoni, and that's what Dhoni did. Dhoni just continued in his own way by hitting the odd ball for boundaries. But then Jadeja came in, and Jadeja was keeping company to Dhoni, and I thought Jadeja really attempted a very rash stroke under the circumstances, because it was very important that this was the most recognized pair that India had, and one saw Jadeja attempting a stroke which probably he should not have done. He actually tried to hit Russell. I think he tried to pull a delivery from Russell, and Samuels took the catch. He bounced, so Russell picking up 2 wickets with his bouncers, I could say, and Jadeja probably could have really waited and not played the stroke, but I thought it was a pretty rash stroke under the circumstances. But Jadeja was gone, and suddenly West Indies would have felt that now they definitely had a chance to come back, because the only wicket that West Indies needed there was Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And for India, as far as Dhoni stayed, they didn't have anything to worry, because as long as Dhoni is there, one knows that the job was going to be done. As Ravichandran Ashwin. Now Ravichandran Ashwin is another one who really, one has to really say thanks to Ravichandran Ashwin for really giving good support to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and avoiding any further mishap for India. If you look at Ashwin, he contributed just an unbeaten 16 of 32 balls, and there was no 4 or no 6. So that was the way probably Jadeja should have played. But Ravichandran Ashwin kept a very calm, very cool and calm head, and he contributed an unbeaten 16 in that winning partnership, one could say, because the score was taken from 134 for 6 in the 30th over, where India were under tremendous pressure, one could say, even though Dhoni was there at the crease, because one wicket of Dhoni and probably India could have crumbled and probably lost the match. But as I said, Dhoni is has always been a pilot for India in any chases, and that's what he precisely did. As he finished with an unbeaten 45 of 56 balls with 3 fours and 1 6, taking India to victory. Ashwin not out with a cool 16 of 32 balls. India home by 4 wickets, and the match was over in the 40th over, and that was some good. I thought India definitely didn't do themselves proud by actually really making the situation much tougher for themselves. But in the end, they prevailed, and they picked up the points. As I said, now they have won all the 4 matches that they have played in this Pool B. So that was it. And as far as the West Indian bowling was concerned, I thought they were bowling very well. Jerome Taylor, according to me, was the pick. Now, another thing that one would have noted here is that just talking about Jason Holder's captaincy. Now, Jason Holder definitely did some very, very good things. We saw that he picked up Virat Kohli's wicket by getting 2 men for the hook shot, and Kohli falling for that. He brought in Dwayne Smith, resulted in Suresh Raina's wicket, and he himself contributed with the bat. But one probably thought that Jason Holder missed the trick, because it was very important that when Jadeja and Dhoni were at the crease, if you look at the let's have a look at the bowling figures. So that would really give you an idea as to what I'm talking about. Jerome Taylor had bowled 8 overs, no maiden, 2 for 33. He was the pick of the bowlers for West Indies. And one does not know what was going on Jason Holder's mind, because he actually tossed up the bowlers to the part-timers Smith and Samuels instead of. One would have understood if Jason Taylor had gone the whole hog, because probably one does not know what Jason Holder was thinking. So I thought probably Jason Holder missed a trick there. Probably he thought that the slower bowlers could actually do something. And that definitely didn't work for him, because India were definitely put on a real leash by the West Indians. And if you look at it, one does not know why this happened. Probably you could have used Jerome Taylor bowling the full quota of 10 overs, because he has been an effective bowler. He was the pick of the bowlers today. Jason Holder himself could bowl only 7 overs. Kemar Roach bowled only 8 overs. So if you look at it, if one probably thinks if those 7 overs would have been used between Taylor, Holder and Roche, one does not know what would happen, because India definitely had a tail in the form of Mohit Sharma, Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav. It was a big tail, one could say. So I was a bit surprised at that. And Kemar Roach 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 44. Andre Russell 8 overs, no maiden, 2 for 43. In fact, Andre Russell, one can imagine, he was a bit costly. Dwayne Smith 5 overs, 1 for 22. Samuel 3.1 overs, no maiden, 1 for 10. Probably one has the feeling that probably Jason Holder lost count of the overs, and probably would have realized that what a mistake he had made, because one would have understood if he had actually given the ball to, even though, as you know, Dhoni and Ashwin was the most, in the sense, even though Dhoni and Jadeja were the most recognized batsmen at the crease and Jadeja's wicket was gone, Ashwin definitely had the batting capabilities. But I thought if Jerome Taylor, Jason Holder, Kemar Roach, they could all bowl, probably they could have probably stretched India, and probably Holder felt that if at all he could. One does not know what was the thinking behind it. It really foxes me as to know why Jason Holder didn't use himself, Taylor and Roche to bowl the overs, because India, the match was finished in the 40th over, Probably one does not know what was the reason. Really, that was something surprising because Jason Holder has been a good captain, but on this note, I would say something. He missed the trick, or he missed the count of the number of overs the bowlers had. Whatever the case may be, well, West Indies had to lose this match. But probably they could have really frightened India. Probably, if Jerome Taylor, Kemar Roche and the other bowler could have bowled, even though Dhoni was there, if at all they could have picked up Ashwin's wicket. And then, as I said, they had a long tail of Mohammad Shami, Mohit Sharma, and the other bowler to come, who was Umesh Yadav. Probably they could have tried it. So, well, one does not know what was the thinking behind it. But as for me, I could only say one thing. Probably, as I said, either he missed the trick or probably lost the count of overs the bowlers had. Well, anyways, as you know, Jason Holder is a new captain of West Indies. I'm sure he's going to learn from his mistakes, no doubt about it, and he's going to become a better captain as days go by for the West Indies, no doubt about that. Well, so that is got. So India has won the match. So we are just half an hour away right now, as I'm talking to you, before the two matches which are kicking off today. And what a match we are going to have today! What a crunch game we are going to have. It's going to be between Pakistan versus South Africa. What a game that is going to be. And for Pakistan, it is a most important game. Not only for Pakistan, even for South Africa, it's an important game. And I think that would be it could be a real superb match in the offing today. And as I said, another 30 minutes to go. The news is not so good. While I'm talking to you, I hear that at the ground there is some rain falling, which is going to be played at Eden Park in Auckland, in New Zealand. And I hear that there is some rain falling, some droplets of rain have been falling. Yes, there has been some forecast for rain, no doubt about it. And it is also said that there could be some heavy showers too. So one has to keep our fingers crossed, because I said this is a game which could really rob the spectators of something if at all rain comes and becomes the spoiled sport. But well, so a very good match in the offing here, no doubt about it. And then we have another match which is going to be played at Belrive Oval. Now Belrive Oval, Hobart would be making history, because they would be hosting their first match as far as World Cups are concerned. And I think in this World Cup, if I'm not wrong, yes, in World Cup 2015, this would be the first match at the Belrive Oval in Hobart. And it's going to be a match between Ireland versus Zimbabwe. Well, Ireland have been doing all the good things. They definitely have all the support and the sense. They have been doing their job pretty well in this World Cup, no doubt about it. But Zimbabweans are the ones who did very well in the warm-up matches, I thought. But definitely they have not been able to upset any apple carts in this World Cup. And it would be interesting to see this battle when it takes place at the Belrive Oval in Hobart. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that really ends my cricket happening show for today. Hope you all enjoyed my summary, my cricket analysis here, and I hope to talk to you soon tomorrow. As you know, I'll be covering both these matches between Pakistan versus South Africa and Ireland versus Zimbabwe. Until then, it's good night from your host Ram Studios. Thank you.